Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors the next 90 minutes. Always have fun here on this middle of July. And yes, it's hot and it's raining and everything else going on, but we're going to give you a chance to sit back and relax and talk outdoors. We got a full show as we normally do, and this is third Saturday. It's hard to believe, but we got them both in here, and we will have the dueling of the segment introductions between these two guys, two of my most passionate duck hunters and waterfowl hunters, and we have them in here even in July to talk waterfowl, and we'll be doing that some today. Of course, that is Frank Barton. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone.
And what's this other guy's name? He's got a beard now. He's trying to look different here. John Gordon, good morning.
Morning, Larry. How you doing?
We're going to talk some ducks today, too, John. I know it.
That's great.
I know it. And a lot of folks say, well, John works for Ducks Unlimited. You've been with them how long now?
5 years.
5 years as a senior communications specialist.
Correct.
I think that's what, SSS? SCS.
SCS.
SCS. So, you know, we don't have – we know that Ducks Unlimited is based here in Memphis. If you don't know, where you've been. And I think a lot of people still don't know that they just see the big flag with a duck on it going down Walnut Grove, 40,000 cars a day, and don't realize what a gem we have in there. And I can remember when they put the first shovel in the ground that I was out there. But there's another organization that John doesn't mind us talking about because they're in it for the same thing, and that's Delta Waterfowl. And so later in the show, there's a big event coming up in Little Rock, my home grounds over there in a couple of weeks, and we're going to talk about the Delta Waterfowl, the Duck Hunters Expo. And I know John had a chance to go over there last year, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And of course, Frank knows about the event itself, but we're also going to talk about a new wildlife refuge in West Tennessee that they dedicated yesterday. That's right, yesterday. And we're going to talk to Monty Ballou, our good friend from the Martin, Tennessee area, former state policeman, been in law enforcement forever, and he's now a member of the Tennessee Fish and Wildlife Commission. And they've named that refuge after a gentleman who died. He was a helicopter pilot for the state. And so they've named it after him. We're going to talk to Monty about that, get that Mid-South fishing report from David Best, and I guarantee you he'll talk a little bit about kayak fishing. Marty Marbury's going to dance in the room. Well, I wish he could, but talk a West Tennessee tourism. She thought we forgot about her. No, we have not. And we're going to close out the show today. There's a big raffle going on. And I'm not sure, I'm not a real connoisseur of raffles and everything like that, but I know they're giving away a whole lot. This is the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Foundation raffle going on, and there's some big prizes that you can help out with the foundation and everything like that. So we're going to talk to Johnny Allred. He is the foundation development director, and he's on the show today. But in the studio, Shelby McCall keeps us straight, if that's possible. I've had a great week. I did survive 5 hours of golf on Wednesday, so I guess my health is doing pretty good. But these guys right here are waterfowl hunters, and I've got to ask you right now, have you started yet on your places, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
You said,
actually, I'm still trying to drain some of them.
You're still draining, right? I was going to ask you, we've had we're 8 inches over normal for rain. You know, I know we have thunderstorms in the afternoon, but we're just my wife's garden's getting hammered. So have you been?
Well, I've been spending most of my time trying to get water off, so that I can get heavy, get better equipment in to do some maintenance.
And then how about you? Have you been to your places?
Where I hunt over there in Arkansas is pretty much just a working farm, right? So, they're farming. That's about it. But we really don't do a lot other than, put some boards into structures and hold water. That's really about it.
You're always ready then.
But, yeah, I'm always ready. Although, I was just down in Texas, a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
We did a really cool habitat development film down there with Todd Steele. I just released a podcast.
Is that on DU Nation? Is that?
That's right. And I just released a podcast with Todd. We've talked about at length about habitat management. He runs a really good club down there called Thunderbird Hunting Club.
Thunderbird
down south of
El
Campo, Texas.
Your old stomping grounds.
Exactly. And they do a lot with DU through the Texas Prairie Wetlands Project, developing more soil habitat down there, and they're going hard and heavy on it right now. For building impoundments, they're going to be holding a lot of ducks and geese this fall.
So how's Buster doing?
Buster's good. He's training hard. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it? How long has it been?
Memorial Day weekend, I saw him.
Okay, so he's still in Little Rock over there.
Yeah, he's there.
Frank, update us on your dog.
We trained early in the mornings.
Yes, you have to, don't you? Yeah.
And we're, depending on if I'm doing drill work or just trying to do blind or mark work. But I can normally go for with 3 dogs, I can normally go for about an hour and a half, hour and 40, maybe 2 hours if it's the humidity's down, and then that's about all they can stand.
Of course, now you're getting ready. You said I think you said 2 weeks entries will close.
No, entries will open.
I mean,
for Master National.
It will open for Master National.
They'll open up on July 28th, and
this year it's held where?
Thomasville, Georgia.
Yeah, you're in Georgia. You've been in Oregon and Idaho, and now you're in Georgia, and you're going to break some records for numbers, or have y'all?
It's looking that way right now. We got through posting June, the dogs that had qualified in June, and there were 1,204 dogs that qualified in June, and that's the highest June that we've had.
1,204 dogs.
Yeah, I think right now. It looks like we're going to push 1,500 dogs to be qualified for the event.
Is that the record?
That'll be a record.
1,500 dogs. That's just
be
amazing.
Qualified. I think we'll have 12 to 1,300 entered.
And over how many days?
It'll be 9 days.
9 days. Oh. Is that Buster's goal?
Well, he's got to become a master hunter first. But I mean, that's just he's young. So
he's young.
He's got a long way to go. But ultimately, I would love to see him run that.
Because you're getting him. I mean, he's being nightly kept trained and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
how old is Buster now?
He'll be 2 in September.
Okay.
So he's a baby. Right?
We're talking dogs here, not about kids or anything like that. Okay, I'm saying Buster.
Now, let's put it in perspective. The average age for a master hunter that they've earned their master hunter title.
What is the average age?
Just a shade over 4 years.
Really?
Right. So
Buster's really young.
He's young, and so he's, of course, working toward that goal, but it probably won't be until, like I said, another year at least before he's really probably ready to really run that low.
Because your dogs, Frank, you got 3, right?
I have 3. I have 2 that I campaign. I have one that's questionable whether or not they're going to make it or not, and then I've got 3 more real young dogs that are coming along.
And you're spending a lot of time on this now that you're retired, semi-retired.
I get to spend more time with them.
Yeah, you get to spend more time.
I get to spend a whole lot. I get to spend a whole lot more time on Master National work, and it seems like that. I always find something new to do with that group.
Well, that's the part of it. So we'll talk to Frank, and we'll also talk to John as we roll along here. But a lot of talk this week. I don't know if y'all have checked out my Facebook page and seen the state record, which had been held by the same man last year for the blue catfish. He's broke it again, and that's Micah Burkhart on Barkley Reservoir in Stewart County, 122 pounds, 3 ounces, 57.5 inches in length, and 42.5 inches in girth. And that came on June the 28th. It's been certified, official record. Went in on July the 11th, so we have a brand. Well, I don't want to say. See, a record is a record. It's not new, okay? And I always have trouble with that. A new record, there is no such thing. When it's a record, it's a record.
Right,
okay?
Just a bigger fish.
It's a bigger fish, okay? So when you put new in front of record, that's a controversy that writers have with extra words you don't need. and brand new, record. A record is a record. So it is a record. And it is a big fish, 122. But there are some big fish in there. Then, as I said yesterday, we had the event up at for the new lake, new refuge, that we'll be talking about on the next segment with Monty Ballou. The Sergeant Russell Refuge is dedicated to Carroll County Shooting Sports Complex yesterday in Huntington. And we're going to talk to Monty about that. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that are keeping track of the weather, and it's hard to believe we're midway through July, and it won't be long to dove season. I've seen pictures of sunflower seeds, and I've heard that this may be a record for sunflowers blooming. I've seen lots of pictures and things along that line. And before you know it, we will have opening day of dove season and all those things like that. But going to be a good time this morning with John Gordon and Frank Barton in the studio, Shelby McCall taking care of us. So just sit back and talk. All you good folks in Memphis on AM 790, Brownsville 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. And, of course, in News Talk 101.5 in Jackson, Tennessee, as you listen to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.